We've been running some deep level stats. I know you like looking at delta ACS from map 1 to map 4, etc. But this is, I mean, this
love
is some
stats. You know me.
this is some real shit. Okay, this is predictions win rate. So let's take a look. Over the last week,
Dude,
all right, okay.
my friends, I swear to God, I am leaning towards 50%.
Dude, everyone has like the most professional picture, and mine is just some random going live image that I had. Holy shit, I won?
I mean,
you have the
Fuck
highest
yeah.
percentage.
you have the highest percentage because you have the lowest sample size.
Yeah,
this
that's what you would
Yeah,
say.
that's
This-
what you would say, yeah.
This is how stats lie.
Here,
Okay.
Here, I think I would know a thing or two about statistics.
Wait, why am I red,
Gosh,
man?
I think I would know a thing or two about statistics. I see 83%. That's higher than 70. So I don't think you have a place to talk to me here. I'm gonna be honest.
That's true. We'll
At a
see how
certain
it
point,
matches up.
I'm going to be replaced by a coin flip.
You're
Yes.
currently still just
I'm
edging
getting
out. of
close.
conflict.
I'm getting close.
Last week was the first time we'd done this like Plat Chat match of the week. We chose Sentinel's Guard because it seemed like a banger from the outside. Didn't end up actually being like that. So let's see what the little Timmies did. Yo, viewer predictions.
Let's go, Timmy.
Let's go.
Nice.
Whoa.
So what this means is the viewers also correctly predicted the guard, right? Okay. Well then, you win, little Timmies. Well done. Well done. You got it correct this week.
Nice.
So we've got another one for you. All right. The match of the week this week is that upper bracket game. The winner goes to Reykjavik. It doesn't get much more match of the week in North America than that. It's the guard playing against OpTic. So this is a big one. Chat, you'll have your opportunities, but we have gone mostly with the guard. 3 of us with the guard, and only Mimi actually going for OpTic.
After all that, Mimi. After all that.
After all that, I mean, okay. I'm going to defend my take, first of all, about OpTic. I think that OpTic looked really pretty solid against Cloud9. I really love the way that they've been implementing the chamber for Ye. I think it looks exceptional. I think FNS is a really good IGL. I like the way he plays Killjoy. I think that the guard, you know, they've gotten some good experience under their belt. They have some good fundamentals. Saya player's insane. I just like in matches like this to lean a little bit on the experience. I think in a head-to-head, these teams are incredibly close, and I think OpTic's experience makes me lean a little bit more towards them. I also think that in the head-to-head, I would put my money on Ye over Saya player for kind of the early stuff. I think also the way that they've implemented Raze into a lot of their comps, the way they're playing Marved on the Brimstone has also been really exciting to me. They've been one of the teams that I think have adapted best to the controller changes, especially with those Brimmy comps. They've been playing a little bit of the Omen on Marved. They were really quick to switch on over, and they've looked good at it. They're innovators, they're exciting, and they have experience. I think it'll be very, very close. There's a world where guard win, but my prediction is for OpTic.
And I don't think that's unreasonable, actually. I think this one's going to be tough for a community vote as well, because in my head, it's pretty fucking even. The reason
I find it really difficult to predict. I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
I was just supporting your point.
No, I
had a hard time with this.
Yeah, so did I. I think what I ended up tipping me to the guard is the map pool argument, because you've got both teams like to permaban Breeze, and in my head, it is more valuable for guard to remove Ascent in that first round ban and just float their perma, because I don't think OpTic are going to want to pick it into them. OpTic have removed it for a long time. You don't know whether the guard are planning to do that as well. So I think it would be dangerous for OpTic to pick Breeze there and punish them for it. But I think if the guard just remove Ascent, they're actually looking good on all the other maps in the pool. I think maybe OpTic would be best like going to Haven in that kind of world, but that was the guard's best map. So I don't even know. Like, they just look good on Icebox. They look good on Bind. They look good on a range of the different maps. I'm struggling to see where OpTic get the wins if guard remove Ascent. That's where my head is going. Like, I don't see the two maps where OpTic win.
Oh, you're right. Fuck.
Unless he's like the Queen of England. Unless he's like the Queen of England and he has an official birthday and a casual birthday.
What, really?
Is that a thing?
The Queen has 2 birthdays, yeah.
Why?
She was
my dad
spawned
too.
twice like a demon from the soul of her mother.
Wait, we have 2 British people here. Do either of you care about the Queen and the royalty and all that?
Whoa. That's like blasphemy.
Well, what do you mean by care? I wouldn't take a bullet for her. I think we're beyond that level of like protecting the monarchy.
I mean, are you bricked up for the Queen?
Motherfucker, Prince Philip isn't bricked up for the Queen. Let's go on to the next game. The next prediction we got from North America. It's XSET playing against LG. This is down in that low bracket. Everyone's got XSET, man. I think this is actually closer. I think this is closer.
I mean, yeah. It looks like we're disrespecting LG, but I cannot stress enough how much LG are... Someone's clicked with them in this new meta, and they're playing towards comps that excel with a lot of their strengths, and individually, a lot of players are owning.
Yeah, this is actually a dangerous game for XSET. I think it's that kind of situation where they're like, what, 55, 60, 40 favored, but we all just thought they were, so we all went for them. I don't know. I don't see this being like a... I think it could be a really one-sided game because XSET sometimes just stomp the teams that they feel good against, and they always win against LG. It doesn't matter what iteration of LG, they always win. But I do think there is some level of danger here. I don't think XSET's map pools looked incredible. I think LG are decent enough at bind to give XSET a bit of a run for their money if that's what XSET go for. Yeah, I could see this being like a tight 2-0 for XSET.
I think LG's been the most underrated team the entire season. And this is crazy to me. I mean, the reasons I went for XSET was just because from what I saw, yes, sure, LG was on top of the meta, but like what I said when we watched the clips from the game against the Guard, it feels like they don't have more than what they had this first week. And that could change. Obviously, Mac on that team as well as coach, right, is doing good things over there.
He's not a LAN, though. He can't shout at XSET and call them bums.
Maybe that's a positive. But yeah, I'm surprised by this. Really surprised.
Okay. Well, then let's go on to another game in the lower bracket. Both undefeated teams from the group stage. Only one of them will be able to survive. Only one of them has any chance of making it to Reykjavik. It's Cloud9 playing against version 1. And we've gone with, 3 of us with Cloud9, and then Bala believing in version 1 here.
Yeah.
I
think I changed that.
Did you used to be the weird guy?
I didn't have a trench coat, but I was quite strange.
You wore that on a t-shirt with a trench coat.
But
over
it's
the top
always
of it?
it's always the people that they're just a lone wolf, man, in society. You know?
Yeah.
Them against the world.
I was a weird kid in high school, but I never
how does that
had a
relate to
trench
what
coat.
you just said?
It's like one step into the fucking strangeness.
We've already predded one of the teams that we think is going to make it to Reykjavik, right? Because the winner of OpTic Guard makes it to Reykjavik. But there is still a long way for the other teams to go. Maybe the favorite would be whoever wins the C9 version 1 game. Maybe the favorite would be whoever loses the OpTic Guard game. But there's still a long way to go in the bracket. So we're putting the bold preds on the line here. Who is that other team that you think is going to make it to Reykjavik out of North America? And none of us have the... Oh, no. Me and Bala have the same. So let me read this through for the audio viewers, actually. So me and Bala have Guard, Cloud9 making it through. No OpTic currently. No version 1. Nobody, in fact, has version 1 making it through. Bren has Guard XSET making it through all the way through the lowers, and Mimi has Cloud9 OpTic, so a kind of repeat of that upper semi-final that happened. I think defend the XSET pick to begin with here, Brent, because they would have to go on a storm through the lowers. They'd have to beat LG, which, okay, they're favored to, the winner of C9 V1, and then the one of the Guard and OpTic.
For him, it's OpTic.
Yep. I was very torn with this because when somebody asked me the other day who I expected to make it through, like after we had seen all the matches be played on Sunday, and I was still really torn because the OpTic Guard game I think could honestly be down to a 50-50. I'm just giving it a slight edge to the Guard. I don't really know in that capacity. And in the lower bracket, we have this big break in between where the teams are playing matches where not only can teams get more up to scratch with maps that they might not be comfortable in the meta and the pool, but in a weird way, I think the meta shift has kind of helped XSET because I think they were on the verge of almost getting... They've been perma-picking Breeze a lot of the time, running the double controller comp. They've switched away from that. And I think as a result of the meta shift, they've done that. They've moved away from like the Astra, now Def is playing the Cypher for them with the Breeze pick. I think that was a blessing in disguise, honestly, because I think that against top teams, they would be able to find little quirks within that comp against it if they let Breeze into the pool. That they would have ended up losing their perma pick. So I think that was a blessing in disguise. Another question mark I had for XSET was, is Cryo going to be consistently good? So far, from what I've seen, he has been consistently good. I mean, Cryo has been popping off in a lot of recent games. He's only going to get better with more time, I think, in terms of that team and XSET, the structure. And they've XSET have fallen to the wayside a lot in terms of eyes on them, because there's just been bigger teams, bigger storylines.
Right.
And they've just kind of been gliding by, but genuinely, like, look at those fucking numbers. I mean,
Bigger number, better team.
They've had some easy matches, but I definitely think recently Cryo's been doing quite well.
You've got them predicted to win against C9 and OpTic, though, at the bottom, right?
So what I've noticed,
they didn't win against C9. They were in the group with them, and they
week
kind of
4,
got
right?
flattened,
Week 4
in that game.
Yep, week 4.
Yeah.
Very different map pool in terms of like what teams like to play, because honestly, it was a very close match between them and Cloud9.
Was it? I can't exactly remember. I thought they got flattened, but
They won map 1, and then it was kind of one-sided after that, if I recall.
But
It was behind map 1 too.
Icebox
so.
was.
Yeah.
I remember Icebox being incredibly back and forth in terms of like adaptations that both teams were making. Like, it was a really sick game in terms of seeing the way that both teams were moving around the map, the way they were playing against each other, switching stuff up based off what one team was doing. It was a dope game to watch, and just ended up obviously being squeaked out to Cloud9's side. But the shift puts things into question a lot.
I remember this one.
Here's what I want to say. So my question to you is let's say XSET beat LG, which I think is a distinct possibility. We then go into a match where they're either playing Cloud9 or V1. All of us are predicting, or everyone but you is predicting Cloud9. So it's probably Cloud9. Let's say hypothetically it's that team. Cloud9's compositions, I think, match up very well against an XSET that is still really heavy on the old Astra and on the old double duelist. Cloud9 is a team that's playing a lot of the KO. They're playing a lot of these heavy flash comps that work so well to shut down early aggression and shut down phase checks. And at least on 3 maps in the pool for XSET, they're very reliant on those phase checks. When they're just going with the jet raise comps, it's constantly having to be the dry peaks on through. I think a team like Cloud9 punishes that if we re-see that matchup come on through.
Possibly. I can't really get into comps too much. Or
I don't think they're going to play bind, so I don't think that's relevant anymore. Either way.
I think that with the break that we've had, there's going to be a lot of just variables.
I mean, there's definitely been time to change. I'm not saying I'm not faithful. I think they'll play a close game.
I'm thinking more from the perspective of I've seen like both OpTic and Cloud9 play, and there's been inconsistencies over the weeks in terms of them playing. Like some maps OpTic will get fucking rolled and then they just lose confidence and peter out. Some maps OpTic, everyone's playing on top form and they're rolling their opposition. Cloud9, they're having these really alternating halves where sometimes they're just struggling to get anything done. Like if Cloud9 pick bind,
I mean,
if
you look at it, XSET have only ever lost to the 3 teams the rest of us have predicted. 2-1 lost to OpTic, 2-1 lost to Guard, 2-1 lost to Cloud9. I mean, other than those games, they have looked really impressive. They stumbled a little bit in that 100 Thieves series, but other than that, they've had a lot better control against some of these lower ranked teams, and I think even someone like C9 has had.
Yeah. Frankly, the only thing that's surprising about this bold prediction segment to me is that nobody went with version 1 at all. Because I think there is still a serious chance that they could make it through. If they win the Cloud9 game, a lot of us have C9 going through here. 3 of us have Cloud9 going through, and version 1 could end that in a single match and could easily make the same run that we're predicting Cloud9 could make too.